question. You want me to just talk about kind of like my journey first, or what? And then you guys can ask questions,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
talk about like your whole like career from like just like when you started playing, when you're like a little kid.
Yeah. So I mean, I started playing on top when I was like 4 or 5. I used to live in Miami actually before I moved to Texas. So I mean, in Miami it was a competitive thing, but it was more like just something to do to have fun. It was more of like an exercise, get out and run around because I wasn't really good at that age. I was like 4 or 5 when I played. I was just doing it for fun. And then we moved from Miami to North Tech to Dallas, or to Arlington actually. And that's when I first found out like the competition, how big it was here. Like North Texas is probably like a top 3. You guys know this. It's probably like a top 3 identification market in the United States. Like North Texas, Southern California, and probably like New York, that Tribeca area is probably the top 3, hotbed for talent as far as youth soccer goes. So I kind of knew that I was like, wow, like if I want to do this, I got to work, because I was doing it for fun. I wasn't doing it for like, I wasn't trying to go pro at that point. I was just like, okay, I just want to play for fun. But when I got to Texas and I saw the competition and I saw how big it was here, I was like, oh yeah, I need to set my game up a lot if I want to, be a pro. So I started off at a youth club called Texas Lightning. It was a really, really small club. There I kind of just got the basics down. And then actually one of my friends, so when I moved to Texas Lightning, all of those players left that year. And we knew one of the moms, her name was Missy, and they had a son named Austin. We were the same age. So we kind of kept in contact with them because they moved to Solar. And so I played in Texas Lightning, and then when she said, "Oh, we're creating a team, a Solar White team," it wasn't Solar Red because Solar Red was the best team, but I had to play on Solar White first. So it's called Solar White. So I went to Solar White for a year, and I did well, and I moved up to Solar Red. That's how I met Adrian. He was my coach in Solar Red. And from there, it just kind of took off. Like I started to realize, like probably in middle school, that I could probably make this a career if I really worked hard. Like that's when I started to become good. That's when I started to gain confidence in myself. It was actually when I went to ODP. You guys, you know what ODP is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in ODP. I went to camp. I went to the tryouts actually, and I was scared. Like I didn't know what to expect. And I remember I went to because I had never tried ODP before, so I had to start with like everyone else. Like there was obviously the best team, and then there was everyone else. I was in the everyone else group. So I went there. I played. It was after the first drill. I'm telling you, after the first drill, I kid you not, it was like a Chinese guy. He's like, "You need to go over there with this team." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're gonna go over play with the best team." And from then on, like I did well there. Got invited to the Region 3 camp in Alabama. From there, I made the region team. I didn't make the national pool yet. I didn't make the national pool till I was 16. So I didn't make the national pool for another 3 years, 4 years almost, 3 years, yeah. So I was like, man, I want to get to the national team because I already made the region team. That was cool, but I wanted to get to that national level. So I ended up. Then I went into academy. My freshman year, I went into academy. No, I wasn't pre-academy, but I was a dual roster, so I was on both the pre-academy and the academy. So I was on there. I did well there. I know Adrian pushed me. Kevin Smith, I don't think he's there anymore. He's at a different club now. But they said like, this year you're gonna get your feet wet because my 16th year was my year to ball out. Like that was my year to make the national team, my year to get college offers. That was the year that was gonna put me on the map. So that freshman year, yeah, it was definitely it was hard. Like I trained with the 18s, I trained with the 16s. I was training with guys 4 years. So I was 15. So I was training with 18-year-olds, 16, at least 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So I had to find my own way, that's how I had to gain confidence. I had to have my own personality on the field. You know what I mean? Because you're in a big boy league now. I'm not playing with my kids. I'm playing with kids that are 3 years older than me. So I got to really bring it every game, every practice. So that really helped me mature a lot as a player. So my 16th year, my 16th year was probably my best year because we went to the national championship. We won. We won the national championship. We lost in the final. We were the number 1 team in the country that whole year, I think, or number 2 ranked seed in the entire nation. I don't know if you guys know Alan Wynn. He plays for Nashville. He played at Solar, my team. He plays for Nashville FC right now. He was on the team. We had a lot of D1. You guys go to Duke, Louisville, Creighton. A lot of D1 schools from that team. So that, and after that year, that year I went. So that spring, I don't know if you guys have heard of residency, U17 residency program. So I was on the residency program the last semester. So spring of 2013, which is actually the year we went to the national championship. I had left after the first semester. I got invited to a trial of the U17s. I think in November, December, and I went there. It was in Bradenton, Florida, with the IMG Academy, which is like basically where like all professional athletes go and train. The facilities are amazing. It's like a sport management facility. So they have a lot of like MLS guys. The MLS preseason is there. They have a lot of NBA guys train there, NFL guys, and etc. So I went there for a trial. I ended up making the team, so I had to move. I had to get all my transcripts, transferred over to the school I was going to go to in Florida. So that was kind of a hectic time, but
Well, how
I
old were
went
you
there. I was 16.
when you like transferred there?
Yeah, when I transferred there, I was 16. I
Dang.
was 96, but I was a late 96. Yeah, so it was definitely different because that was the first time I lived on my own. I was away from my family for 6 months, 7 months, I think. Yeah. I had to go to school on my own, but I was a disciplined kid though. I wasn't really like I did what I had to do. Like I was one that did my homework on time, got good grades. I was very disciplined, so it wasn't a big
Makes
jump for me.
sense.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. It was definitely a dream come true because actually the year before that we went to the Nike Friendlies, or we went to the showcase in Bradenton, the Academy showcase, and that's the first time I saw we would all watch the Nike Friendlies where they played like Brazil, England, all those kind of things. It was in my age group too.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to be there, like I want to get there. I was like, okay, I want to get there. I got to put the work in. And obviously Adrian helped me out a lot because he's the one who got me the looks. I remember I think it was the second or third game. I think it was the third game against Baltimore Bays, I think. No, against the Carolina, New York City, no, not New York City, North Carolina. It was now North Carolina FC, but back then it was like Castle Chelsea or something like that. So we played them, and I remember, I didn't even realize it until at the end of the game. But the coach said, the national team coach was sitting watching the whole game, right? I had no idea, but he didn't tell me that because had he told me that, I probably would have got super nervous,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, they're probably gonna call you for a trial. And it's funny thing, like I think that next week I got home, they emailed my mom because I didn't have an email for them or whatever. Email my mom, and they said, we want Caleb to come on a trial. I was like, I was so happy, man. That was crazy. That was a crazy experience. Yeah. So then, that kind of happened. I mean, that's kind of like my youth career. That happened like my youth career. So, yeah.
Did you ever play high school?
I never played high school. No, I wanted to. I really did because my brother. It's funny. My brother played high school. My cousin did because I wanted to play with my brother. I never played with my brother before, so that kind of sucked because my brother and my cousin were on the same team, and I could have played my freshman year, but since I was a dual roster, I couldn't. So it was against
Oh
school.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
really wanted to, but I had to abide by the rules because the academy. But yeah, I wanted to for sure.
Were your coaches like your high school coaches like? Did they try to like persuade you and stuff?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a big thing. They didn't try to like they wanted me to play on the team, but they obviously knew that I was playing on this team and I wasn't allowed to, so they didn't want to like break the rules and then get everybody else in trouble. So yeah.
Oh, right. So whenever you said you joined the like solar like white team, right?
Yeah.
So like that was like, is that before like DA like existed or?
But yeah, the DA, I don't even think the DA, that was when I was probably like 12 years old, 10 or 11, 12 years old. Yeah, I don't think the DA existed at that time. I think the DA started in 2012, maybe 2011. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, I don't think the DA was a thing then. It was mainly just U.S. club soccer, U.S. youth soccer, like USYS or whatever it's called. It was just that. It wasn't a DA. But that was already really, really young at that point. So there was just all club teams. These weren't like academies yet,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What grade were you moved to residency?
I was a sophomore in high school, so I was a 96, but I was a year younger than them in school. So I was a sophomore. Everyone else was a junior. Yeah, so I was a sophomore at that time. So I was 16. Yeah. at the time when I was a residency.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what
So
is that?
residency?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically like you live in these like academy dorms. Not academy dorms, I'm saying. In these apartment style dorms in Bradenton, Florida at the IMG Academy place campus or whatever it's called. So basically I would train every day, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 10. Then you would go to school in the afternoon. And it's kind of funny because you think of school as 8-hour day. Our school was 4 hours. You would take like 4 classes. Yeah, we would take 4 classes. And I'm telling you, it was the easiest thing. It was so easy. Like, because they didn't really focus on school there. There was all about soccer. Like, there was guys that were pros. There was guys that played on Borussia Dortmund. Junior Flores. He played on Borussia Dortmund. He was already on. He had signed a contract with their, I think, U19s or maybe even the first team. I don't know. But he was a pro. So, like, he wasn't even worried about school. He was just trying to get through it, you know? So, there was, like, legit pros on our team that were 17, 16 years old. But, yeah, so, like, that was
free?
just yeah, everything was free. Yeah, that was the thing. Everything was free. So they gave us like, we got per diem. You guys know what per diem is? Like basically, they give you money per month to live there or whatever. But it wasn't a lot of money though. Like it was maybe like $70, $80 a month. It wasn't a lot. Like yeah. So they didn't pay us. Like don't get me wrong, they didn't pay us at all. Like it was just like little money for like going out to eat. You know what I mean? Just money to have in your pocket. But it was good though. Like we played games on the weekend. We would play against MLS teams for preseason. They would come down. We play them. We play like. I remember one time we played against like Canada, Bermuda, some other like island countries. They would come for like friendlies. We would just play them. We would play college teams on the weekend.
Team?
Yeah, the national teams. We would play them friendlies. So we would play like we had a game. We had 2 games every weekend. Saturday. I know. Was it Saturday and Sunday? No. Sorry, 1 game. So it was everyone got to play at least a half. They wrote. So it was like 32 of us. So I had to rotate it kind of evenly. But yeah, there was. Ooh. And then we get Sundays off. So you train Monday through Friday, game Saturday, and then we have off Sunday. And then we do the same thing every week until the World Cup. We actually didn't make the World Cup that year, which is unfortunate. Which is kind of, I think we were the only, maybe the only cycle not to. I don't know. But yeah, we didn't make the World Cup that year, which is kind of unfortunate. But the experience was great, man. I would not trade it in for the world. It was like you got to play. You got to train with the 32 best players in the country. You got to make friendships. I'm friends with a lot of those guys to this day. We're not best friends, but we keep up with each other, you know? So, I mean, it's really the friendships and relationships you form during that time, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Was the, like, competition, like, really, like, hard? Like, were there some players, like, that wouldn't play at all?
Where, residency?
Yeah, or they, like, try to rotate you guys?
No, it was very much it was very much like I was there late. So the residency cycle was 2 years long. I was there the last half of the year, the second year. So the first 1.5 years I wasn't there. So like I had to build ground up. Like don't get me wrong, I wasn't the best player there. I thought I was still really good, you know what I mean? But like there were guys that were like about to get signed by European clubs and I wasn't that, you know?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like, I still held my own with them, no problem. But like they had a like kind of not priority, but they had guys that were starters because they built continuity, they built up, you know, chemistry for almost 2 years. You know, if you play with somebody for 2 years, you're gonna have some level of chemistry with them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean they definitely had the starters and reserves. It wasn't very much a distinct thing, but you kind of knew your place on the team.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to make the World Cup team and everything like that, but I used it mainly for an experience and also to leverage myself on the the national collegiate stage. Because like when you make if you make residency, that's like you're one of the top players in the country. Every college coach is gonna know who you are. It's just how it is. Like they're gonna know who you are. What you say?
Is that still a thing? The residency program?
No, they did away with it. I think last cycle. So like 2 years ago they did away with it, I think. So now they just have camps every. What do you say, Mason?
Oh, wasn't Blaine in the last cycle?
Yeah, Blaine was in the last cycle. Blaine Ferry, like he went to the World Cup. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the last cycle. Yeah, at residency. Yeah, you could ask Blaine too. Blaine will tell you probably the same thing. But yeah,
that's cool. Okay, but then like after that, how'd you
After
what'd
I
you
came
do
back from
after that?
residency.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I came back home. It was probably kind of funny because my residency school ended way before our my regular high school ended. So I was home for like a month just chilling,
Oh,
like nothing to do
dang.
basically. I was just training, but like my school was
Yeah.
done. It was kind of nice to be honest. Um, but yeah. When I came back, I just went back into my. Oh, when I came back, that was my sophomore year. So when I came back, we
Hmm.
went straight into the academy playoffs. Um, we went straight to the academy playoffs, and what I'm saying, we ran through the academy playoffs. We were first, went to the academy finals in Houston, and then we ended up making to the national championship, but lost to Real Salt Lake, who had like 7 future pros on their team, homegrown players. So
Dang.
they were really good.
Yeah.
But after that, that's when. So I don't know if you guys know this, but when it hits your junior year, the summer going into your junior year, that's when colleges can start reaching out to you. I think it's like
Oh
June
yeah.
1st or your junior year. So that was I was going into my junior year, and that's when like stuff started getting crazy. Like college coaches started calling me, emailing me. I remember one college coach messaged me on Facebook like that night. So it kind of started to get like really intense.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that kind of happened. Then I just kind of kept my head down and kept working. I didn't really let all that get to me. I just stayed humble in the process and like just kept working because I knew that like now at that point I knew I was like, okay, I could really be a pro at this point, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I just kept my head down, kept working. Um, I just try to be more consistent with my play. I wanted every game, I wanted to like be the best player on the field. Like I wanted people to say like after the game, like, wow, that guy's the best player on the field. You know, that's how you should
Hmm.
be. You should be a standout. You want to be like, okay, at the end of the game, they say, wow, they say, good game, you did really well. You know, you want to be
Yeah.
remembered. You want to be remembered at the end of the game. You want to say, okay, this guy's it. He's the real deal. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just kept my head down, kept working. So then offers started to come in. I started talking over my parents, things like that, and yeah, that's kind of what happened
Did you
there.
did you have like a dream college you wanted to go
Yeah.
to?
So my dream college is Wake Forest, actually.
Yeah.
I actually I got an offer from Wake Forest, but I ended up not taking it. I just didn't feel like how you see a dream school, but then you go to the school actually, and it's a different feel. I didn't really feel
Yeah.
like it was right for me, you know. Like
Hmm.
they play like amazing soccer. I loved it because they play possession soccer and everything like that. That's what I want. That's how I like to play anyway. But I just didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was the right school for me. It was like, don't get me wrong, the school's great, but like for me, I just didn't feel like it was the right fit. So I ended up committing to SMU. Um, yeah, I ended up committing to SMU, and it was a great best decision I made. You know, we won conference titles. I gained friendships. They gave me a good platform to go pro from. So my parents got to see me play. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
at the end, it was a great fit for me. So it's
Wait,
all about the
so
fit.
when you went to SMU, did you like stay there in dorm or
Oh yeah, I
did
lived
you
in the
just like
dorms. I
live
lived
at
in
your
the dorms.
house?
No, I lived in the
Okay.
dorms, bro. I not live at home. Don't do that. Always live in the dorms, bro. Don't matter if you're 15 minutes away. Nah, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's up to you, but I
Okay.
definitely want to have the full college experience, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stayed at home. I stayed at home. I stayed at the dorms. Yeah, it was cool.
Did you get a good like roommate?
Yeah, he's one of my best friends to this day. He's a good dude. Christian Borum, his name
Hmm.
is. Yeah, he's a good
That's
dude.
cool.
Yeah, real cool. Yeah. So what else y'all got?
Here, anybody,
Ba-
someone else can ask a question.
yeah. Mason Harper, you ask some questions.
Uh,
Could be
would
anything,
you
bro. Like it could be about any. I mean, I want it to be soccer related, but anything else, it could be about anything, honestly.
like for college, like would you say you were like pretty smart, like good grades and stuff to like
Oh
get
yeah. I was smart enough. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I had good grades. I worked hard in
What was your
school. I
GPA?
mean, in high school, probably like a 3.5, 3.6. I mean, yeah, I wasn't. I would do my work.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty good.
yeah, I did my
was the
work.
thing
What's up?
Oh, was the same coach at SMU your coach?
Go
You were there?
Huddy?
Yeah, the head coach.
Yeah, he was my coach. Yeah, he was my coach. He was actually so he was the first head. Like my year was his first year as head coach.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool because he actually helped me get to the U17's national team. He kind of recommended me actually.
Yeah.
For that. So I mean, he's played a big part of my life, soccer-wise. So that's why the reason why I knew I went there. If I would have gone to SMU, he would have definitely helped me get to that next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's a scout for the national team.
Yeah, he is a scout. Yeah, that's exactly how I met him first. Then I realized he was going to be the head coach at SMU. I was like, okay, yeah, I need to be going here because he knows what he's talking about. Like, he's going to get the team. I mean, he's turned that program around. They're a perennial top 5 team in the country. So
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of competition to get scholarships there and get to play there. So it's a good place to be for sure.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what other questions do you have?
As like if you could go back to when you're like 14, 15, or like anytime like in your youth career and give yourself advice, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, that's a good question. I think if I can go back to my younger days.
Yeah.
I would probably say, trust the process. I know that's cliche. I would say, do things that other people aren't doing when no one else is watching, really, like let's, for example, there's a party on Saturday night, or there's a party Friday night. You have a game Saturday morning. What are you going to do? Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the party, you're going to stay in and rest because it's going to be a big game. There may be a college coach there. There may be a national team coach there. You don't know, right? It's all about choices. It's all about like what you think is important in your life. You'll make it a priority. That's with every part of your life, not just soccer, but your health, friendships, relationships.
Yeah.
Whatever you make a priority, you'll do it. So I think, and I did a decent job of that. Just like kind of having a set path for myself and making the right friendships that would help me get here. A lot of my friends are positive thinkers and like positive mind people that think positively and want to succeed in life and whatever they want to do. So I think just that, because you just, like I said yesterday, I was talking to guys yesterday, like you're gonna feed off that energy. It's all about the energy you give and the energy you receive from people, right? So if you give out good energy and you receive good energy, you're gonna have a positive outlook on life, all that. It all ties back in, and then it's gonna help you on the field,
Yeah.
in the classroom, with your brothers and sisters, with your friends, It all intertwines with like all areas of your life, not just sports.
Did you ever think of like going to FC Dallas or trying to become pro there?
Yeah, that's cool. That's a funny question. Yeah, so they actually wanted me to go to FC Dallas. Probably my U15, 16 year. I was considering it, but I really wasn't. I really actually wanted to go to college though. Like it's kind of funny, crazy how it seems. Like I wanted to go to college. I wanted to have that experience of being, on my own, being like having like find myself, because college you really find who you are, and you grow as a person. Yeah, so I always wanted to go to college. It's kind of funny, but I just did. I was never really like I want to go pro first. Like yeah, I thought I wanted to go pro, but I definitely wanted to go to college to have that experience and to grow as a person, more really than a person. I mean, as a player as well, obviously, but you grow more as an individual. You really find out who you are in college. Yeah, so I mean that proposition did come up, but also like Adrian and Kevin, I knew I was in good hands with them, so I knew they would like help me get to that pro level anyway. So I wasn't like, it wasn't a big like, oh, this, like at the time, my 15, 16 year, I think we beat them every time we played them. So it wasn't like they were so much better than us because we beat them. You know what I mean? So, in all respect to them, great club, But yeah, I just thought like where I was, it was fine where I was at Solar. So
That's cool. All right. I don't really. Let me think. Let me think of how to word this.
yeah.
Okay, so like as like you play midfield, right?
I played midfield and left back. So yeah, I played
Okay,
both.
so what would you say like if some like scout saw you, like what would you say your like outstanding trait is? Like
My
they
outstanding
see
trait,
you,
my ability.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so probably as a center midfielder is my ability to keep the ball for my team and run the show. So I played the 8. So like my
Mhm.
thing was like, okay, I can't give the ball away by within any circumstances. I can't give the ball away. I have to keep it for my team. I want these college coaches to see that like I'm bossing the game. So like whenever they see it, they see me on the ball, they see me distributing the ball, they see my team with the ball, right? Because you don't want to ever be the team without the ball. Who wants to do that? Nobody. You don't want to
Yeah.
be the one that's chasing around. You want to have it, right? And
Mhm.
Kevin and Adrian, like, pretty sure they tell you that too. Like, if they, they want you guys to possess the ball and move it around and play like kind of like a Man City kind of game. That's how I want to play. I want to have the ball at my feet, controlling the way the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be mine. Also, probably my quickness. When I play left back, I love
Mhm.
to get up and down the line. I got kind of like an attacking left back. Like
Like
using my
you're like
attacking
pacey?
qualities. Yeah.
Dang. What about like if you could like did you like work on your pace a lot whenever you were younger, or it was just natural?
It was natural, not to be. Yeah, it was more. It was probably natural, to be honest. I mean, I worked
Mm.
on it, but those things are just like God given in a way.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah.
you play like Busquets, kind of.
Nah, I'm more of an 8. I'm more of an 8. Like, let me see the good 8s. Like, I'm not really much of an Iniesta, but like, I'm trying to think of an 8. Who's like a really good 8? Or you could say right now, like Weston McKinney,
Hmm.
or a. You guys know who Emerson Hyman is? You ever heard of Emerson Hyman?
No.
Oh, he's good. So he used to play. His grandfather used to coach at FC Dallas, and he used to play for them. But now he plays for Atlanta United. He used to play for Fulham, and he played for Bournemouth actually, and then he moved to Atlanta United. He's like a Pirlo, like Pirlo.
Hmm. Yeah.
Somebody who keeps the ball, keeps it moving, but is able to like attack as well. Attack and defend.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Another question is, so whenever you're playing for like your like you're like before you went to the residency camp and you're playing
yeah,
like solar or
regular.
DA, right?
Yep.
How would you compare your practices, like the intensity and stuff like that, to like pro practices?
So you want me to compare my DA practice and pro practices?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when I went pro, it was all it's more of like a business side of it. You gotta look at it because it's like these people are grown men. These people have families. People are providing for their families, right? So like the check that they
Hmm.
get, like they're paying mortgages, they're paying car notes, they're paying car insurance, they're paying to feed their kids. You know what I mean? So it's a different
Yeah.
mentality. It's more like I'm gonna get mine. Not I'm gonna get mine, but it's like I gotta make sure I'm providing for my family, above anything else. Like we can be friends and all. Like there was guys on the team who had kids, right? Not a lot of them, but there
Yeah.
was a couple, and they were actually one of the better players on our teams. And they took practice serious. Like it was like a very serious thing, which everyone should, because it's almost like an audition, right? Every week you're auditioning to be in the lineup for the game. It's like an
Yeah.
audition, like you're trying out. Even though you're on a team, you're still trying out. So you got to like show the coach, like, okay, what I'm bringing to the table, you have to put me in the game, right? Like you got to put me in
Hmm.
above all else. And that's the same thing in college and same thing in DA. It's the same mentality. Like in training every week, you got to be like, okay, what am I doing to make sure the coach, like you want to at the end of the week, you want to be like, this coach can't leave me out the lineup. That's how it should be. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing too well in practice. He can't not put me in the game. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it shouldn't even be a question. You should be on the field. So it's that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but for professional, there's other factors too. 'Cause it's more of a business thing. It's like, okay, this guy's getting paid X amount of dollars per month. He's probably gonna play.
Hmm.
This guy. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing. That's not the main reason, but like those things factor in for sure. Um. So yeah, I mean, it goes back to the mentality thing. It's really all the mental part.
Um, like after you were like done with college, you like did you go like straight try to go pro like right after?
After college?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go pro right out. Yeah, of course. So
Okay. So,
yeah.
hey, what were you saying?
No, yeah. Sorry. No, you got it.
Okay. So whenever like you're trying to like you went to like trials and stuff with pro teams, right?
Hmm.
Like was the speed of play like hard to adapt to? Like was it like kind of like shock you how fast they play, or is it like you're like it was like you could like fit in like kind of easily?
The trials I went on, or you mean with the team I played for? Because
Um.
the funny thing, the trials I went on were trials with other college kids. It wasn't with the pro team yet. It was like
Oh.
a college tryout.
So it was
So
like
yeah,
U20.
no, it's more of like okay, so they have tryouts for only college kids. It's like a college combine, right? The college kids get
Yeah.
invited, and then
Mhm.
you play against each other, and they choose. Okay, you five are going to join us for preseason. That's what happened with me. The team I tried out for, excuse me, I did well at the college showcase combine thing, and then they invited me to their preseason.
So like when you were on the solar teams, and didn't you say that Blaine played up with y'all?
Blaine, yeah, he played up with us a couple games.
How
Yeah, he
would you
did.
like describe? Because I think he plays like my position. How do you think or how do you describe his game? Just like
Blaine,
dribble. Yeah.
yeah,
I,
he's like a silky smooth guy, man. I mean, like he's really versatile too. Like he can play in the midfield or out wide, honestly. Yeah, I mean he's really calm on the ball. Like he's aware of what's around him. As a center midfielder, you gotta be aware, like have 360 vision and basically know what's around you at all times. So like, okay, if I see this person here, but I know this guy's over here, like I need to know that before I get the ball, where the ball's going next, basically. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean he's a great player, man. Like silky smooth. When I saw him play for the first time, I was like, that guy's different. You know what I mean? So it's all about like standing out.
like I saw him play with the national team and like his highlights on YouTube and stuff, but like I never saw him play for Fuller. Was he just like that much better than his age group?
Yeah, he was. He was advanced, like really advanced. Yeah, he was. I'm not gonna lie, the guy. And even when he came with us, he was better than some of our players too. Like, not knock to them, but he just was. Like, he was really good. So, but he like at that moment, he had the thing about him is he had a good demeanor. Like, he got a good head on his shoulders. He wasn't like talking trash, like, "Oh, I'm so much better than you." He would just did his job. Like, he was humble about it. You know, he was a good kid. Like, it's all about being like you got to be good people first. You know what I mean? Other than soccer players, like not just because someone's really really good, you're not doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. You know what I mean? As people, so you gotta always remember that. Like you gotta be humble in your approach, humble and like even if you get like I was in a national team, like so what? That's cool, but like I'm not better than anyone else. I'm still myself. You know. So you gotta make sure like try not to get. I know it's hard, but sometimes like you can't get the big head, even though you feel like you accomplished a lot. Like I did in my youth career, I accomplished a lot, but I was always humble about, my accomplishments. So
Yeah.
what question you got, Harper? You got any, Harper?
Yes, Harper, go on.
Did you
You
go
guys can
like
ask me anything. Oh yeah, sorry.
like did you go to any like college ID camps like for like identification?
I didn't. No, I didn't go to any. Because a lot of the colleges they came to see us play at the showcases.
Mhm.
So I didn't really go to many college showcases. No.
Um. Okay. So you said
You guys,
you play left back, right?
I played. Yeah.
What was the like best winger you've come up against?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know what to
Okay,
tell you.
yeah. There was this guy. On the U17 called Rubio. His name is Rubio Rubin.
Hmm.
He was he was a starting, I think, winger. So whenever we would play, like the day before games or whatever, it would be like the first team against usually the first 11 against the second 11, right? And I was on the second 11, and I think he played right wing, and I played left back. Yeah, his name was Rubio Rubin, and he
Was he
actually
a
signed with huh?
was he a lefty or a righty?
He's right footed. He's right
Mm.
footed. There's actually another guy I'll tell you about too that's nasty, but Rubio Rubin, he played right wing. Yeah, he played right wing. Yeah, yeah. And the guy was insane. Like
Like how? Like what made him
Like,
so good?
just his demeanor and just like he would keep going at you. Like even that, like he didn't get tired. Like he was always like, I'm gonna whoever's on this side, I'm gonna like make sure they know at the end of the game, like I gave them that work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he would not stop going at you. Like if it was time to go 1v1, he would go 1v1 at you. If it was time to play, he'd play. Like he knew how to make the right choice at the right time. You know? And like he wasn't afraid to make mistakes. Like he wasn't afraid to fail. Like because the next time he gets the ball, like he made a bad pass, so what? Next time he gets it, he's gonna make that pass, or he's gonna take you on and get a shot off. And he was 2-footed too. The guy was just good with his left foot as well with his right foot. Like he was, but he was a humble dude though. At the end of the day, he was really down to earth. Like off the field, the guy was like a really good dude, But on the field, he was like a killer, like almost like Kobe, like Mamba mentality. He was a killer.
Yeah.
Like that's how you get there. Like he was a killer on the field, and off the field, he was a cool dude.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Did he have like really fast step overs?
Yeah, bro. That guy, yeah. I remember the first time I went against him, he like stepped over it, took it, and then stopped it, and then took it again, and like he beat me. I'm not gonna lie, but that's when I got introduced. That's when I got introduced to like the national team level. No, he really did.
All right, Mason. You
guys can ask me other questions besides soccer if you want to. Like, you guys
what happened to your trim?
You played against Pulisic, right?
I played against him like a long time. Yeah, that was like U17s. He was on the U15s, I think. Yeah.
Was he like as good as he is now? Like
he was. He was small though. The thing about him, he was small, but he would just dribble past everybody, bro. He was tiny, but he had that technical ability. So.
What happened to your trim, mate?
My what?
Your trim. Your trim.
What are you talking about?
Dude, it's like not there.
What are you talking about?
Your hair?
This guy, bro. You serious right now?
Said ask any other question.
Bro, come on, man. Like, ask. My hair's there, bro.
Are you going for the Iniesta look? Dude, were you going for the Iniesta?
This guy wants to try to roast me, bro. I'm not even gonna deal with that. Let's go. Ask me a real question, dude. Come on.
Patrick, you have a question?
Oh yeah, where's Patrick? Patrick, you got a question?
Oh yeah, wait. It's not really. I keep disconnecting and stuff. But what degree did you get? I'm on my Apple phone.
I can't.
Kidding.
What did you say?
Kidding.
What degree did you get in college?
Oh, I majored in journalism. So I'm always like writing. I've always like writing, telling stories, like getting to know people, their stories behind like who they are. So I've always like doing that.
Right, and you get your bachelor's, right? That's how it works. Like the first 4 years is
yeah. First 4 years is your bachelor's degree. Yeah, first 4 years is a bachelor's degree. Yeah.
Also, as defender, hardest team.
You hear that?
I cannot understand what he's saying right now.
Patrick, you need to get off your Samsung, bro.
Patrick, your Wi-Fi.
No, FT doesn't let the Wi-Fi.
Dude, we cannot hear you. Oh
really?
My God. No, you're literally going. Oh.
Okay, can you hear me now? What about now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, what was the hardest thing for you to handle as a defender?
Dude, just text it. I'll ask it, bro. Nobody can hear you.
Patrick, put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's why I wasn't talking, because it wasn't working.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you.
We didn't even hear you try to talk, though.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Yeah, but that's because it keeps like disconnecting and stuff.
Yeah, that's good, bro. Oh, okay. Let me see. What was it? What was the hardest thing for you to what?
Handle as a defender.
Oh, probably like
that.
Being a defender first, because like I've always been an attacking-minded player. Even as a defender, I would always push up really high, almost like as a left wing back. Like a wing back.
Yeah.
So it was more of an attacking. You're like an attacking left back or attacking right back. So I think me just like knowing that my defensive duties came first, and then I was attacked. Like your priority as a defender is to defend first, and I think I had to make sure that like I was making sure the right back was or the right wing was in check before I was able to bomb forward a lot. Yeah, so I think just making sure you have that balance of making sure you're defending, but also like bombing forward too, like a good balance, you know. So
Yeah,
Were
but
there
it's
any
like,
Go ahead, Adam.
are you good? No, you go.
I insist.
What?
I insist you could go ahead.
Nah, you can go.
Okay. Were there any like national team camps that you thought that you were gonna make like before you made residency that you didn't?
no, I didn't make any. So I didn't make any national team camps before residency actually started, or like before I was in residency. I never made one, like ID whatever residential, not ID, like an ID ID camp. I didn't make one ID camp before I went to residency. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder because I thought I was like just as good as all these kids. Like I would see like who would get invited,
Yeah.
and they were all great players, but I thought like I'm just as good as these people, you know. So that's when I knew that like they told me the potential of coaches coming to see me play. I knew I had to stand out because I really wanted to make it that bad because I knew I was that good. I knew I was good enough, you know. So
Did you ever go to like the training centers?
yeah, I did. So I went to they were actually at SMU. I went to the ones at
Yeah.
SMU. Yeah, yeah. I went to like I don't know how many. I probably went to 5 or 6. But those training centers were intense though. They had a lot of future pros, and future national team players in that on the field. You know.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
year.
Alejandro Zendejas is?
What?
You know who Alejandro Zendejas is? No. He plays for
Uh,
Chivas. He was like, he was in '98. He was playing with '96s, and he was still like dominating. He was good. But what were you gonna say though?
Oh, we went to one this year in September.
How was it?
Training center. It was good.
Yeah.
Nice grass.
But you
Did
who
the
all went?
grass?
You went too?
Yeah,
Huh?
all three of us.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
Yes.
I've gotten one in like U13, and then this was the second one.
Okay. All right. What else, you guys? Is that it or what? How many? Do you know what time
Wait, I
it
have
is?
one more.
All right. Cool.
What time is it?
Or how
Dang.
much time we been on this thing?
I don't know.
It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
it's been.
All right. You got it, bro.
Okay, so you're a left back, right? And the ball is just played to the right winger, right? And he has the ball and he's running at you. As like a left back, like how do you defend? Like you said that one guy is 2-footed, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you like how are you
It
like
depends on where he is
defending
on the
him?
field. It depends on where he is on the field. So say if he's like in the box, right, or he's like on the edge of the 18.
Mhm.
I want to force him to his outside because I want the ball to be outside. I don't want him to cut in and shoot because the goal's right there in the middle of the goal, right? So if he's on the corner of the 18, I want him to force him to the line because like if I force him to the line, the best thing you can do is cross it in, and then we have numbers in the box to defend that. You know, if I let him inside, he has all day. He could shoot it. He can play 1-2 around me. He can chip it to the back post. You know what I mean? But if I'm forcing to the line, I'm using that line as an extra defender, basically. You know what I mean? Because he only has so
What
much
if
time until he runs out of space.
Yeah, but like, is it hard to like if they're running at you? Have you seen Messi? I know you've seen Messi.
Of course I've seen it.
Okay, so Messi or like Mahrez, right? They're running, and it's like, you know how you say you want to force them wide, right?
Yeah.
Like they always like manage to cut in. Like, how can you like prevent that?
Prevent him from cutting in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
they
depends though,
always
because
do.
if they cut in, say if your center back knows he's left-footed,
Mhm.
well, the center back comes over, he helps me. I force him into that little trap, right? And then he's stuck there. Only he's stuck, but he can go what? He can't go forward. He can go sideways or backwards. And at that time, I did my job because he's not going towards the goal, right?
Oh yeah.
If
Also,
he tries to hit a 1-2, I could just bump my shoulder into him, right? If he tries to
Mhm.
run around and bump my shoulder, make sure I'm on the inside, right? And then I just control it from there, you know?
but what about like have you know Mahrez and he like does those fake shots, right?
Yep.
Right. So like if someone is like doing that, right, and he actually cuts inside, like you're gonna like expect him to shoot, right?
So I don't. The thing about me is like I don't ever try to slide. I block with my feet. I don't try to slide because if you slide, then you're done for. Because if he tries to you do that cut, and I don't slide for it, I just reach up with my feet, right? See, a lot of people that a lot of highlights of that, they slide and they're done and he has a free shot. Like I don't try to go for the fake. I keep my feet. I block with my feet. Not like I don't have to go down to block the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like slide down, and when you slide, you're basically out of the play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, that was good talk.
Yeah. Is all y'all got? Any more questions or what? Is that it?
That's all mine.
All right, cool. Anyone else? Harper, Mason, Patrick, y'all good?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, cool. All right,
Thank
well, yeah, it was good talking to you guys. All right, you guys on train next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll just talk about that later then. All right.
Okay.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.